Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. This video is low-cost meals. Stock up on cans as soon as finances permit. When I moved, it was this time, and I had to move my stockpile. I thought the only thing I want to stockpile is cans. Little did I know that was smart. This is nice. I bought this at Grocery Outlet. Pineapple cilantro, $5. I'm going to see if they have any more. I've been burning this thing for a month. So, okay. Stock up on cans as soon as you can. Why? Well, so you won't go hungry in the event that something happens. Okay, what we're seeing at the southern border of the United States is a massive migration. People, like animals, migrate when resources are low. So they're motivated to try to get over here, and we see it in Europe too. We also see it from war-torn countries. Oh, I finally found my ring. We also see, massive migration in Europe. Okay, we see a growing number of homeless in places that are expensive, like San Diego, and it's not just kids either. And we see seniors living in cars because it is so expensive even to rent. So if you're in a place, you can usually, come up with the money. But if something happens and you have to come up with the first and the last, and they want a tax return and a credit report, maybe you can't. I've seen people with an income of $2,400 a month. It'd be hard for you to rent something here with that, but they were living like in back of a car repair shop. We see countries buying food in preparation of war, like Sweden. We mentioned that. We see storing for grid down. Otherwise, with a can, you can just eat it out of the can if you had to. Also, job loss. Also to combat inflation. So spend a little bit less on food next week and pay a little bit on your utilities. Like, also, it could be anything. Like, about 2 weeks ago, I had to buy a car. Okay, or we have a little bit money for eggs, meat, and bread, because we see in other countries them standing in line for bread, and the eggs are getting expensive. So, okay, so like what kind of cans? Like canned meals. Okay, this is what I was going to make tonight, but I had a huge lunch. Oh, I want to mention this nice tea. I got this tea package for $2 at 99 cents only. I had to get some napkins, and the one I picked was minty chocolate black tea. I love it. So I might get a couple more of these. Fiery ginger, perfect peach black tea, minty chocolate black tea. That's delicious. Wild black currant black tea, rich cranberry green tea, sweet strawberry green tea, jasmine blossom green tea, magic apple green tea, and morning green tea. So I thought that was nice. Okay, so what I was going to make is I was going to make some chicken chili. So, I have two kinds of chili here. I have chicken chili and beef chili. So what I had was leftover turkey. My son sent a lot, but I want to mention something about the turkey. Maybe everybody but me was doing this, but see how my daughter-in-law sliced the turkey? And so, like, For me, I need 4 or 5 ounces of meat, so I have several. Oh, I should put macaroni and cheese in here too. Anyway, so I started slicing my meat, and it goes so much further, so I was going to tear it up, put it in the chili, and put some jalapenos and cheese on top. But I had flatbread, eggs, and bacon for lunch, and on my flatbreads, I had the homemade cheese that I made, and I had some jam, some grape jam, so I'm not hungry. That's why. Okay, but let's stay to the canned meals. Okay, so each of these cans is 2 meals. So, and it's not too many calories. For a half a can, it is 290 and I think this one's 260. So that's not too bad. So that's about 4 meals. I have, I like beef stew, any kind, and you can serve that on mashed potatoes. So that's 6 meals. I have spaghetti and meatballs. I get the one with the biggest meatballs. 8 meals. Especially if you're tearing up. Oh, I have 2 of them. This is the Walmart brand. And I think that's all the meals oh no, I did come up. And then I like this. They show it on bread, but you can put potatoes. You can put this in a little pie crust. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's almost 15 days worth of food for one person. So the first thing we would and that doesn't take up too much space. The first thing we would want to stockpile is meals. And then the second thing we want to stockpile, I'll put these over here. This chocolate mint tea is good. So, you know, if money is tight, just buy 1 or 2 cans. I try to find everything at a low price. Then vegetables, and I wanted to make mention of the vegetables. Green beans, because if you have bacon, you can cut some little pieces of bacon up and cook your beans on low, and these will work just like any kind of bean, like white beans, and you can make some cornbread. So, or you can put them in all kinds of things. I think this is 3.5. Yeah, these cans are 3.5, so 2 cans for a week. And then the other one we usually like to eat is corn. So that's 7 right there. It depends how much you eat. I like peas because you can make really good pea soup out of this. I've told you guys a zillion times, but I have new followers. Hi, everybody. So you make white gravy. You just melt some butter in a pan, and you sprinkle a little flour on the butter, and you stir that around, and you start adding milk little by little by little. Meanwhile, you're cooking these peas with salt, pepper, and sugar in another pan. And when they get hot, you blend them in the blender and then put them in the white gravy, and that's going to give you a nice big pan of soup. And hopefully you have some bread or crackers. So vegetables. I would get whatever assortment you like. I like to get mixed vegetables too. Okay, fruit. So you might be thinking, Rhoda, anybody knows that. But listen, look around. And we're starting to see evidence of people going hungry. And I'm saying to myself, do you think you're so immune? I'm not so sure. I think I'm fine, but you never know. Okay, for fruit, I like to get fruit cocktail. I like to make that in peaches. I get pears, but I couldn't find them. And okay, so that is all the fruit I took out, I guess. Okay, the next one, so vegetables, fruit, and now soup. So soup is just like a meal. So I have some potato soup, and what you can do with this, if you have it, is you have to add, this stuff's thick, you add a little water, and then you can add oysters with the juice and all, and that is going to give you a nice meal. Or you can make your own potato salad very easily. Just cut your potatoes up, put a little onion or chives, salt, pepper, cook them down, and then when they're done, add evaporated milk. We'll come to that in a minute. And a little butter, and then, you know, when your potatoes are soft, then add the... And then the other one is, if you get vegetarian vegetable, I always used to get the one with meat, but this can count as a vegetable. And then the other one is tomato soup. Is this 1 or 2 servings? 2.5. So let's say 2 servings. That's about how much I eat, but I usually eat those with a sandwich. Also, I forgot to mention unemployment. And then chicken noodle soup. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, and then evaporated milk for gravy making, for soup making, or for drinking. 1 can is 3 cups if you add water. And then I have beans. I usually get pork and beans. Let's see, this is 3.5, like the vegetables. And I like sweet potatoes. And then I wanted to mention pasta sauce is good. You can add that if you just have cheese and mushrooms. Or you can take your pick. Which do you prefer? I would try to get the one. These are a little bit more expensive, but they come with a jar. And I'm afraid, I hate to say, but in time, the jars might be invaluable. Like if you wanted to give away some food, it would tell you exactly how much, you know, was there. Okay, and meat. All right, last night I gave you guys the salmon ball. Actually, you know, when you think you know everything, you don't. The salmon balls are nice. Now, with a can this size, you can make a lot. Let me give you the recipe in case you didn't see the video. Right here, all you need is salmon, onion, egg, 2 slices bread, salt, pepper, garlic, mayo. You put the breadcrumbs. Did I write breadcrumbs? Oh yeah, they have slices of bread, but I use breadcrumbs. You put enough bread so that you can shape them into balls, and then you fry them in oil. And they would be good with French fries, or macaroni and cheese, or mashed potatoes. Okay, and now I have packets. You can put this in a sandwich, or you can put it in macaroni and cheese. Just pick up one. Here's tuna. The bodybuilders slip these in the bread, you know, with a lot of tomatoes and lettuce. That's a good one. And then here's what I used to make the salmon balls last night. It made 6. It was the perfect amount for me. Okay, now I want to mention about vegetables. I started buying pickled vegetables, and I'll be making them. This is sauerkraut. You can serve it on the side just like coleslaw, or you can heat it and heat hot dogs and buns, or hot dogs and French fries. So I'm going to be buying a big jar of olives. And then these are really good. And you see it has a variety of vegetables, but it also has some really good pickles. And also, after you eat this, you can put a few vegetables at least one more time in the brine. And then here's the chocolate tea. This was great. All right, so, okay, so now, also, I want to give you the flatbread. Get this recipe. Okay, if you have flour, baking powder, and salt, you can make an oil. I'll be buying more vegetable oil. I have a lot of olive oil, but I like vegetable oil for the fry bread. 2 cups flour, 1/2 tablespoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt. You mix that all together, and then you add 1.5 to 2 cups hot water, and you stir that. It's going to be a soft dough. Stir it around, not too much, kind of like a biscuit. Shape it into a ball and put it in a bowl with a little oil, and turn your dough around and let it set there for about 20 minutes and then fry it in oil. I usually take a little flour and, you know, make like a soft dough, and then I fry it. I had those for lunch. So you're not going to be running out of bread. You're not going to be standing in line for, although if you needed bread and you could get some, I think it would be a good idea. But it would also be a good idea to have stuff on hand. Okay, this is a great discovery. This was cream cheese, but it hardens up just like, it's like cheese, but it's also like butter. You can use either or. I think that would be good for macaroni and cheese, or on pasta with some Spam or some tuna. So in my freezer, I will stockpile some sour cream. You need the sour cream to make a little batch of that cheese. You're not going to run out of butter anymore now. Here it is. The video is don't buy cheese, make cream cheese at home in 5 minutes. I cook at home. 2 liters milk, heat to boiling, add 1 teaspoon salt, add 2 tablespoons vinegar, stir constantly until it curdles and separates. The liquid will be yellow. Then right at that point, it's cottage cheese. So you could strain it and eat it as cottage cheese, or you can add to your, what I did is I just put it in the blender. I put 100 grams of melted butter is the 1/2 cup. 2 spoons sour cream, but I use cream cheese. So that is why you want cream cheese and sour cream in your freezer. Blend and refrigerate, and you can use that like sour cream or butter. You can put it right on your bread. Not going to run out of butter anymore. You might be thinking that could never happen to me. Yeah, that's probably what all those people out there are thinking. Let me give you my baked bean recipe in case you have pork and beans. So if you have a little bacon or a little sausage, or if you don't have any, you don't. You can bake it or you can cook it on the stove. Let me give you my customer's bean recipe that she made for the people who didn't have any food in FEMA. Pinto beans, onions, garlic, water, salt, pepper, sugar, and a tablespoon of oil. That'll get you by if you have some cornbread. What we're preparing for is the worst. Let's hope that never happens. Okay, you're also going to be able to make yogurt, but you need a little yogurt for the starter. Heat a big pan of water to boiling. Babies! Oh my gosh, no! Heat a big pan of water to boiling and put into the oven to create a warm bath. So I use a saucepan and I slip it into the oven. Bring 3 cups milk to almost boiling and hold it there 20 to 30 minutes. 180. Or if you don't have a thermometer, it should have some bubbles around the edges. Take 1/2 cup yogurt. I usually use 1 container, but you really don't even need that much. And let that reach room temperature. So you take your yogurt out when you start heating the milk to create the warm bath. Pour hot milk into a large bowl and cool to warm like a warm bath, 110 to 115 degrees. Add room temperature yogurt, slip into the oven, and leave overnight. Things are so easy to make. And then you just use your yogurt for a starter. So you're going to have butter, you're going to have yogurt, you're going to have food. Okay, now, one of the things, if you save your money that you can buy, that I have been doing, is just going to, one of the cheapest ways to buy salads is Jack in the Box. And it's enough for like 2 salads, so 2 days. And then they give you really good dressing and croutons. That's $3. You can go without that, but I was just going to say, okay, let me show you. If you're new to stockpiling, just get 1 or 2 pounds bags, beans, rice, a small bag of potatoes, flour, sugar, salt, yeast, 1 bottle oil, I threw it in the trash, oatmeal, and powdered milk. Save the seeds out of your vegetables, get dirt, and grow indoor. Windowsill or balcony is fine. Learn to make fruit jam. Just boil your fruit. If it's canned, drain it. Cover it with a little water, add sugar, and then chop it with a spatula and keep all your glass jars. The keeping all your glass jars was a prophecy. I listen to the prophecies and I take them with a grain of salt. Also, I see some of the religious leaders are starting to buckle under pressure, you know, and allowing things that were never allowed. Okay, I got these for half price today, and I got this for $1. My son's baby likes. I had this in my freezer, so I was able to make the, what I can do with this, if I didn't have cheese, is put a dollop of this on my chili to give myself a little dairy. All right, now I want to talk about what I did today. I went to the bank. 2 days a week, I go to the bank. I jump up, I go to the bank, I take all the money out, and I disperse it so I cannot spend any of it. It's like, don't spend the money until Monday. Disperse of the money so you can't spend it. I let a little in there to spend. I went to the gym, and I started the gym October 10th, and they gave me a ton of good advice today. So that was awesome. Also, I told you guys, stop, that I'm going to be 70. I'm not. I'm going to be 69. So I told them at the gym, I wanted to shape up when I was 70, so I have a whole extra year. They go, you don't know how old you are? I go, no. Okay, so they said high protein, less carbs, less sugar, more vegetables, and moderate fat. Okay, so what they said, they told me to do, I can see I'm stronger already. As far as I know, I've lost 5 pounds. I'm not going to be taking another look until I've been going 6 months. So 2 rounds on the gym equipment. I know that the muscle mass is key. And 30 minutes on the treadmill and 1 class. So I wanted to mention, okay, I mentioned to you guys the major thing we spend money on is housing, transportation, and food, and utilities. So I was able to drastically reduce my utilities just by like watching every little lumen of light. And so I thought today, I think I could reduce my transportation by doing what I have to do early in the day. I have always done everything after work, but now that I'm retired, I don't have to do that. And I mean, it takes me sometimes an hour to get to the gym. So I'm going to try to do what I have to do in a day early and see if that helps. And then I'm going to be thinking about food. What can I do to reduce the cost of food? Well, for one thing, I can eat my stockpile down. I bought this today. Oh, these are so good. You know you're on a diet. These were on sale $1.99 and they're really good. I'll probably get a couple extra jars. Okay, so another thing is, as the economy gets worse, we always say, go home. It's cold, it's dark, and it's dangerous. So I'm going to be trying to, and I am getting older, you know, that has to be accepted. Okay, so the major takeaway is stockpile a couple cans every now and then. I mean, think about 2 cans as a week, like on vegetables or on these meals, you know. Also, I learned 3 tablespoons of rice. You know, you cook that, that's 1 serving. A small potato and these sweet potatoes. Now, this is an expensive way to buy them, but this is 2.5 servings. And then if you buy your meat, like at the middle of the month, like I have tons of turkey. At the middle of the month, I had bought hams and I sliced them like the turkey. I bought a turkey and I didn't do that. I cut it in 7 pieces. I have meatloaf in the freezer. And since I started slicing it, it makes a lot more meals. You know, you get a little, another thing is chicken pies. You're thinking about maybe some good chicken pies or pizzas, making pizzas. I have at least 2.5 meals of pizza and I have 1 more pizza pending. So the better you get at this, the more things you make homemade and the more of your money you can hang on to, the better off it's going to be. If you're doing poorly, you want to look at these. Okay, the major thing is housing. Make sure nothing happens to your house. I mean, it might be, you might have to get a roommate. Like, I can't tell you how many people over the years go, why don't you get a roommate? But I have a lot of stuff for eBay and the swap meet, and I don't have room for a roommate. But if I was about to get kicked out on the street, I might consider one. And also, you know, transportation. I would go cheap on transportation. I really would. I wouldn't get rid of my car, but I would try to be as cheap as I could. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all.